Welcome to episode 2 of Terrifying Vorpal Tales, the podcast. We're your hosts, Tyler and Shawn, once again joined by Duane.
Hi.
Today, we're talking about the existential horror that is the deep ocean. And then we're going to talk about cool classic horror tropes and how that connects to our show. So once again, buckle up, it's about to get creepy.
Oh, man. He's going to do that every time.
And they get more dramatic every time, too.
Buckle up.
Yep. And they'll randomly change it to a worse pun and just break you.
Yay.
So, Shawn, why don't you start out by telling us what you think about the ocean?
It sucks. Mankind does not belong there. It's filled with plastic and whale sperm, so no, I don't want to go there. Also, no.
So to anyone who doesn't know, who hasn't really watched any of our Geared Up gaming shows, Shawn will only play Ark on a raft. He won't play Ark Survival Evolved on the land at all because he's weird. Unless there's a castle he can explore. But he'll build a raft and go way out on the ocean.
I do not go under the ocean.
He will never get off the raft, though. I'll be like right below you. It's like 50 tons of the most valuable resource to be like, you get it. I'm not going in the water.
Nope. Fuck that shit. Which is funny because I live in Florida. I dig the beach. I like being at the edge of the ocean. I just don't like the ocean. And this could sound like, it's not like that weird Lovecraftian, I hate the ocean. Just like, we don't fucking belong there. Like, we just don't. So, and I have this weird things with vast unknown spaces that, again, it's like some weird existential dread sort of thing. But like, we were playing Conan one time and Tyler took the borders off the game, so you can literally just walk as far as you want to walk, but there's nothing there. And I don't have a fear of like walking outside into unknown areas. I have a fear of walking into unknown areas in video games because I don't know what's been programmed there. I don't know like what's going to happen there. And I relate it to my fear of the ocean, of I am vastly out of my depth, pun intended. That I don't know what's down there. I don't know, like the sharks are made to be in the ocean and to kill everything in the ocean. I'm not. I'm just a flesh bag floating there with the mask on and a snorkel going, that's some cool coral. Oh God, what is that?
But it's so beautiful.
It is. It's like a weird, and I like going to like, what is the Disney one with the seas? Like I like going to aquariums and I love ocean fauna and flora, and I love sharks because they're fucking badass. And like, and Jaws is one of my favorite movies. That's actually an allegory for the pandemic if you watch it in recent times, which is fun. Yeah. But it probably does have something with watching Jaws as a kid and going, I'm not going anywhere near the water where that thing lives. Like, no fucking way. But Steve, a few years back when it came out, was like, hey, here's this game that I bought you for your birthday or whatever thing it was. And it was Subnautica. And I'm like, this is cool. Okay. And like, it drops you in the ocean, and then like you're in the shallows and there's just little cutesy fish and whatever. And then you build your little skiff or whatever, and you're just sort of like going like, oh, the ocean's getting deeper. Cool. And then it gets deeper, and then it gets real deep, and then like there's some weird fucking deadly shit that lives in
then a Leviathan eats you.
Right. And then a Leviathan eat me, and I fucking stopped playing that game. I was like, no, I can't do it. I had a fucking panic attack and was just like, no, I don't like this. I love this game, but I don't like this. I'm not gonna do it. I did eventually go back recently and put the God mode cheats on. It was like, now you can't hurt me. Fuck you. So, but yeah, that was I don't like the depths of the ocean because I don't know what's down there. I don't know what's there. It can kill me, and I'm helpless.
I got 2 things for you, Duane, when you started to ask, but why? Your comment about beautiful things, the most beautiful scenery on the planet is always in the most deadly locations. Like, this is shit.
Yeah.
And 2, it's like the meme says, Duane, NASA, why you go to space when we've barely explored the ocean? Because NASA knows, and they are ever more eager to leave the planet.
Right? There you go. Yeah, definitely that.
If you think about it, the dark abysses of the ocean too are terrifying to human nature because the sun never goes there. It is eternal, unbreaking darkness.
Yeah.
And the fish glow. That's just freaky.
Yeah, nobody likes that.
I slightly I wouldn't call it a fear, but I do have a slight aversion to the ocean, but that's only because I was stung by a jellyfish at a young age.
Oh,
Yikes.
That's understandable.
So I'll go out far. I used to live in Hawaii, so I used to play in the clear blue waters all the time, but I was always like looking over my shoulder, like, am I good? All right, we're good.
Yeah, I grew up on the lakes of Michigan, like Lake Michigan, Lake Superior, Lake Huron, and you can't see the other side because they're oceans basically. And yeah, like I go there almost every day, even now as an adult, but still, when it's foggy or it's rainy, I'm side-eyeing the horizon, going, "Something's coming the fuck out of there."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I can't call it a fear because I don't think it's a fear. It's an aversion. Like I don't. Everybody's like, you're afraid of clowns. No, I'm not afraid of clowns. I don't like clowns. They're like, that's fear. No, there's a difference between not liking something because nobody's that nice, A, and B, they're creepy and I don't like them. That's not a fear. That's you're over there, I'm over here. Don't cross that line. Otherwise, I'm gonna punch you.
I personally love.
Actually told a clown that once. Like, he was there. I was like,
"How old were you?"
This was like in my adulthood. Like
okay.
they were coming around with the balloons at whatever, and I was just like, okay, you need to leave. They're like, why? I'm like, I don't like you. What do you mean? You're a clown. What are you talking about? Everybody, no, you don't understand. I don't like you. You're a clown. You have a fear of clowns? No, I don't have a fear of clowns. You're over there. You go on to the opposite side of the restaurant. I'm going to sit here. Do not come back. I will punch you. I'm not kidding.
I have a fear of a comet landing and hitting me in the head. I just don't like clowns.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is. Like it's like I don't like chocolate, It's not that I have a fear of chocolate, I don't like it. Yeah. Vast spaces, not yeah. And I'm thinking back, like I don't like being in completely dark rooms because I can't see. I don't know. I feel like when the room goes completely dark, you enter a different dimension, and
Definitely.
That's when shit can come get you, and that's not good. I don't
That's
want to
the
be a part
basis of
that.
most primal fears. Yeah.
Right. Like
Can't see the predators.
I must make fire.
Yeah, I mean that's the movie Alone in the Dark and Don't Starve. The video game Don't Starve. That's that's it right there.
Also, I think space scares us less because it's been explored more in media, books, movies, video games. They've gone to other galaxies and universes in Star Wars and Star Trek. We've seen the xenomorphs to the subconscious. That's a thing. Yeah. It's only recently we're really delving into ocean terror movies like The Meg and other nonsense like that. One specifically that comes to mind is Underwater, an overlooked movie that everyone should watch because it's fucking amazing.
It's a really great movie.
I have not yet watched it, but I will.
You should. Like we'll end tonight, and then you can watch it for the rest of the evening.
I might actually. Yeah, Kristen Stewart actually. The performance is really well done, and it's straight up past Cthulhu too. So of course I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deep sea pressure suit walking, deep sea diving. I do a lot of creepypasta for anyone who doesn't know. I try to be involved in the community, and a lot of those stories have been coming out in the last 10 years on creepypasta. A lot of what lies at the ocean. So it's definitely starting to happen now. Part of the Cthulhu zeitgeist we talked about in our last episode.
Yeah. Oh, there's a YouTube channel. It's Kurtzagrag or whatever it is. Like they did one on the ocean, and they take it level by level to the very bottom, and they animate it, and like they show you what life and everything is like, and they get to the very bottom, and it's like it's basically the moon because nothing can live down there.
Except we keep finding life, which is part of why it's scary.
Yeah, it's like, well, you said that can't, but it no, I'm just not. No, I don't belong there.
It's just that nothing moves with any speed.
Well, after this week, we know what lies beneath the ocean. After you get past the gravity inversion, it's the Hollow Earth, where Kong's people once ruled from their throne room.
Did you say Congress people?
Kong's people.
Oh, okay.
King Kong.
I mean, you wouldn't be wrong either, Duane, in some aspects, I feel. But
I watched Kong versus Godzilla this weekend. Great movie. Watch it. Such nonsense. So good. Yeah.
Well, I have a question for you, Shawn.
Shoot it, Duane.
So it'll be kind of so you have an aversion to the deep.
Yes.
Now, what if you were to play a game where you were above the water, but your city has sunken, as in the game Sunless Sea? Have you ever played it?
Yeah, it freaks me the fuck out.
I've actually skipped a couple TTRPG plots on the Vorpal Tales show that Shawn was in because I wouldn't want to put him underwater for that reason. Like, I had this really cool idea for an Aquaman kind of story, and I'm like, nah, Shawn would not be able to handle Atlantis.
I could probably it would depend on the system. Like if it's more
not with me in charge, where it's going to be scary.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I would probably still play it and just be like out after like the fourth session, because I would just be like, okay, my character's dead because reasons. But you know, I'm down for it. Don't protect me.
Well, let me tell you about the next time we play They Came From Beneath the Sea then.
Wow.
Which everyone should check out on Expath Publishing game. They're creating a whole line of it, in case you didn't know. They came from beneath the sea. They came from beyond, or they came from beyond the grave. They came from Camp Murder Lake, and soon they came from Redacted. Because they want to hit every trope, including deep sea ocean terror, which was a thing in the 50s too. A lot of movies about that then. Godzilla era.
Can we not say that last one?
That's its name, and that's what makes it fucking cool, because they came from beneath the sea is the 50s and early 60s.
Yeah.
They came from beyond the grave is the Cushing era, the 60s and 70s. They came from Camp Murder Lake is the 90s or the 80s. They came from Redacted is the X-Files era of the 90s.
Okay, I thought it was supposed to be a different name. That's why I was like, wait, we're not allowed to say it?
And they came from Classified.
Got it.
I think it actually is Classified. I don't think it's Redacted. I'd have to look again. It's still, in production, but you can see it on their coming soon part of their website.
It's very cool.
We actually did really enjoy playing They Came From Beneath the Sea, though. I actually put Shawn on a atoll that had a super secret prison in the middle of the ocean and a huge hurricane, and he was okay with that, but they never actually went in the water. Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah, we eventually did go in the water.
Did. In that game, which you can find on our YouTube,
nuclear missiles.
Yeah, which you can find on our YouTube. We took them to Innsmouth, where a government paranormal entity prison is located on Devil's Reef. The prison was breached, so they had to clear the prison and then take a nuclear submarine and destroy the home of the Deep Ones near the reef. They had to finish the unfinished business of the classic Lovecraft story. Yeah, you're the one who did the nuking.
Yes.
And that is where, whenever you see us sign off and half of our people always do that weird wave at you with the hand rising, the Church of the Wave Ascending came from that.
That was fun. I dig that. That's a good callback.
Yeah. Need to play more of that. Which means it's a good thing we're writing a supplement that's coming out in a couple of weeks, huh?
What? Gasp.
They came from beyond. The Vorpal Tales supplement is going to have all new character options and a whole slew of monsters from the ocean and from space that will terrify Shawn.
Why is everybody so adversarial with me at this thing? You bastards.
Duane actually was expressing interest in diving into the They Came series as a GM for us.
I was.
Which of those genres interests you the most?
I don't know.
The Buck Rogers era, the Cushing era, the Michael Myers era, or the Scully and Mulder era?
Probably the Scully and Mulder, because I won't say that. I'm not as old as you guys.
Close.
I am close, yes. I I don't know. They came from redacted or classified, whichever one it is. Would sound cool. I personally would like to try a. They came from beneath the sea as well because I love creepy things from the water.
Yeah, it's a great system for that. And they came from redacted. It's more than just Mulder and Scully too, because like Millennium was from that era, and conspiracies were the thing. I remember that still. Back when conspiracies were fun.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it going to be like all CSP or SCP stuff?
Right. It might be designed like that. Yeah. Not like exactly like that, but I don't know. I haven't actually seen it. Maybe we'll get a chance to at the Onyx PathCon in June, though. People should keep an eye out in case we get to play it. That'd be awesome. It is actually called They Came from Classified. So what memories do you have of cool ocean movies or games, Duane, that scared you or interested you, like Subnautica for Shawn?
Well, like I said, Sunless Sea, I do own, and I have played it many times. I do love it. I've actually never finished it because I end up dying at some point. Lots of Lovecraftian tentacle horror in that game. And then with the expansion that they came out with, where you can actually go under the water and see some of the underwater stuff, that was even cooler. Another game, what was it? Soma was just
now
weird.
you're getting in my territory.
You're getting warmer. Was just weird. I guess those are the only two real ones that have
There's one more. You got so close, you're literally climbing the top 10 list in order.
Amnesia?
BioShock.
I actually saw that I actually looked up the top 10. I don't know if I would consider BioShock as an
first game is almost entirely underwater. In the facility, but still under the water.
The facility is under the water, but you don't really see it a whole lot. But like Soma, it's right there.
Deep Fear was definitely a big one for me. If you saw that list, you saw it was on there. That one was
oh yeah, that was the one I laughed when I saw the picture for.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, was it Deep Fear? Or am I thinking of another one? So the plot of the game is no, that's not the one. Crap, what was that called then? It wasn't Deep Rising, even though that's the greatest ocean movie ever made. Don't say a word, Shawn.
Sure.
Cold Fear. That's what it was called. Cold Fear. You are search and rescue, but you're special. You're like the special ops of search and rescue, and for the Coast Guard. And you get a distress call from the ship, and you have to actually board the ship in the middle of gale force winds and a storm, and like the ship is overrun with ocean-based monsters. I won't really spoil it, but it was one of the first games where they tried to make the environment realistic. So like it was constantly noisy, you couldn't see through the rain, and the boat would actually throw your character around if you didn't move carefully.
Oh wow,
that was formative for me. Yeah, Deep Rising, greatest water-based movie ever made. Girl from Ipanema.
I enjoy that movie.
You should. That movie's freaking awesome. What was that other one? Ghost Ship, where people got cut in half right at the very beginning.
Yeah, Ghost Ship's a good one. That's a fun one.
That's all I remember about that movie is people getting cut in half.
I remember watching that recently just for the hell of it.
I've got one for you, Shawn. The Bermuda Triangle.
No.
Yeah, what do you feel about that?
Wait, the Bermuda Triangle. Are you talking about Triangle?
I'm talking about, yeah, I bring it up as a topic, but also the movie Triangle when we're talking about cheesy nonsense.
I love I think that's one
of the
greatest horror movies, slasher films, or what. Like the concept of that movie is I can't even talk about the movie because it ruins the fucking movie. But like,
it's true.
It's a really amazing movie that just like you're like, what the fuck is going on? And you start figuring things out, and you're like, oh, okay, we're good now. And you're just like, oh my god,
yeah. It's a British horror movie, Duane. If you've never heard of it, that's why.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's great. It's fucking great.
That was one of the first times that Melissa George really got like a starring role, I think, too. For a while, she was kind of big. Here's a creepy one though for you, in case you guys didn't know. Speaking of the Bermuda Triangle, did you know there's also a thing called the Dragon's Triangle in the Pacific Ocean?
Yes.
Did you know that if you tilt the planet, they connect? Like if there was a direct line between Bermuda and the Dragon's Triangle, you could draw it through the planet.
That does not surprise me.
Yeah.
I did not
That's
know
some
that, but it
weird
doesn't
shit.
surprise me. It's because they're portals.
Yeah. Basically, some
Well,
kind
now
of
I'm definitely
gravitic
not
anomaly
going
or
in
whatever the
fucking
hell it
ocean.
is. Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Dragon's Triangle stories are actually a little bit freakier than Bermuda Triangles, but we don't hear about them because it's Polynesia and Pan-Pacific and Asian continents. But if you look them up, don't be a white American. They're pretty cool stories.
I'm
sure Duane's heard some. He lived in those regions for a while.
I don't remember hearing any. I might have. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that I knew about the Dragon's Triangle before I went and lived in Korea.
You might have. I think they actually call it the Devil's Sea. I think Dragon's Triangle is what we call it. But yeah, it's near Japan.
I want to say there was a movie about it. I think that's how I learned about it.
Yeah. Mono Umi or something like that. Yeah, I think so. But yeah, it's a huge portion of the Philippine Sea that shipping routes avoid. Yep. If Cthulhu was sleeping somewhere, that'd be it, because he's in the Pacific.
Well, don't go there.
I actually kind of don't like that they call it the Devil's Triangle. I prefer the Devil's Sea, because dragons aren't something to slay in most Asian mythology. They're creatures of benevolence, wisdom, and good fortune. Unlike us, slaying dragons is a Western thing. They're your friends.
That's where I heard of it recently. I was like, why? Because I remember hearing about it, a long time ago. And then before you mentioning it, I was like, not someone I was talking to, but I remember hearing it in passing just like a couple of years ago. It's because it's in Tomb Raider.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay.
Which one? The newest or the second newest? Okay.
The first newest one.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. So, Shawn, if you got away from Deep Ocean, what's your favorite They Came From trope, since we're talking about TTRPGs?
I mean,
you've only played 2 of them, but you might be excited for the other 2.
Yeah, I think I would more. I mean, conspiracy theories have just been fucking ruined, but I mean, I still have a nostalgia for like the old type conspiracy theories that are just, bunkers, whatever, backdoor bullshit. Just,
I'm sure is all this is going to have. Yeah.
Right. Like that. I mean, hopefully we can get back to a time when that's all that is. And that's great. But, I mean, I was one of those ones that every Friday night was watching, rerun or not, I was watching the X-Files. So that's one of my favorite things. I did like Beneath the Sea. That was fun.
Do you enjoy our era hopping Beyond the Grave game where you were both modern and ancient and you were reincarnated?
Yeah, because just old horror films are so mundane.
Can't be fun.
Yeah, it just can't be fun. Like you can just say stupid things in a serious way and it just works. So like, girthy candles, like
yep,
you get a laugh, but it's like, if you say it just deadly, if you take that sort of thing seriously but you're taking it seriously because it's funny, like that's a fun thing to do. I think those old horror tropes and those old horror movies are like, I mean, I grew up on that stuff, so that's some of my favorite things to watch. Like watching
the only kind of horror movies I was allowed to watch until I was a teenager.
Yeah, and even then some of the stuff that's going on in those, you're like, oh wow, that's pretty deep and serious. Okay, cool. I mean, Frankenstein, I think, was one of the first things I watched. I mean, I think Empire Strikes Back was the first thing I ever watched, but Frankenstein would be one of the other ones. So, and Dracula, watching those are great. But yeah, I think I'm definitely interested in they came from Classified. That would be just the whole thing, like, something's eating my deer. Like, okay, cool. And I feel like that there were some X-Files episodes that were just silly and fun, and even though there was like a monster eating everything,
worm guy,
like worm guy, and then there was the one with the circus guys and stuff, like there is something killing everybody around, but it's just like, Mulder and Scully are just like, well, we're doing police procedural stuff right now, but you know, I feel like you can get some pretty great episodes out of playing that. Just
Good Monster of the Week game.
Yeah, very. I kind of miss Monster of the Week sort of stuff, like being
It's an actual
somebody,
RPG, Monster of the Week.
yeah, being a kid of the 80s and stuff, when you're watching TV and you got your 5 days of cartoons, and then just it resets after each one. It's just like the new adventure, the new monster, or whatever. Like that's I miss that. I could get into that pretty hardcore, because then you can just take a character and just like, okay, I've been through several insane investigations, and you just keep going with it until, I guess, you see yourself become the villain. I don't know.
For the listeners, definitely go to our YouTube archive and check out our From Beyond the Grave live play. You will find the birth of Girthy Candles, Wales Whiskey, and that might have even been where Large Marges first appeared.
I think you used Large Marges first in...
That might have been C.
But no, that wasn't Large Marges. That I want to say you first used it in one of our monster games, but I can't think of what that would have been.
You'll have to listen to them all to find out.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, if somebody could listen to all of our shows and then come back and tell us when that was, we would really.
There are only, as of this recording, 290-ish videos on YouTube.
Yeah, they're all like 3 to 4 hours long. So
you got that time right.
Yeah, you got devoted fans. Yeah. Fine.
All I know is they came from Classified. Better have a write up for Carl Bush, or else I'm going to be sad. The Smoking Man. That's his real name.
Oh.
Carl Gerhard Bush.
I actually met the actor who played that guy. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, I met him at a con too. He's a cool guy.
I had dinner with him, and I talked to him about all kinds of. He was talking. It was funny because he was actually talking about, I think, being in movies with like Peter Cushing and those old.
Yeah. He
So,
was a big name at the time. Even when that show started, that did not make him famous.
Yeah, he was already like a big famous actor, and was just like, I'm just going to do this because paycheck. Cool.
I think but he sold that show because his performances were believable.
Yeah. He was supposed to be a throwaway character for just one episode, and they're like, you're really good at this. Could you come back, please?
FYI, in case you didn't know, there's also an entire radio play audiobook series of X-Files that I listen to in long drives, where it's the real cast doing new episodes of the X-Files radio play style. Like it's actually got I can't think of their names. Oh no. It's got the Smoking Man actor, and it's got Mulder and Scully. They're all there. It's not voiceover. Cool.
I feel like there should be a TV show of just like dudes, not fucking Discovery, insane cryptology bullshit, but like a show that is. I have Discovery Plus, so I can talk shit about it all I want. But like an actual show, just like show. I guess Sleepy Hollow was kind of that way, but like just Monster of the Week sort of thing.
Yeah, Sleepy Hollow was one, and then the fairy tale one that lasted for a good few years.
That lasted longer than I ever thought it would. But
the fairy tale one,
the one where it's all the Disney characters in real life and whatever.
Oh, Once Upon a Time.
Yes,
I loved it.
Yeah, I did watch a few seasons, and then we cut cable, and then I never got to finish it. So I'm sure it's on Disney Plus. I can go watch it.
The 4400 was a good one for that if you're a CW person. Obviously, the Arrowverse shows were all Villain of the Week.
Yeah.
But Monster of the Week hasn't really been much since Buffy days, really. Burn Notice.
No.
But those weren't monsters either.
No, Burn Notice was a spy show.
Yeah, but it was still weird Villain of the Week. I guess the closest thing you're going to get these days is Doctor Who.
Charmed.
The new Charmed does Monster of the Week?
I think so.
Yeah.
Huh.
Maybe that one. Grimm. Well, Grimm's over.
I think what I'm asking for is just they need to do Ghostbusters the show.
Valid.
Whatever ghost they're chasing this week. Somebody get on that, please.
Supernatural was the king of that, but that's over now.
Right.
One of my favorite all-time shows. 15 seasons, y'all.
That's a lot of seasons.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, what would be worse? Since we've talked in our last speak, we talked about cosmic horror, space, and now we're talking about ocean horror and ocean. So, not saying that any of you have ever succumbed to these, but what would be worse, space madness or ocean madness?
So I've been on a cruise ship and been violently ill, so I've kind of experienced ocean madness, I guess you could say.
You want me to get real?
Sure.
I was in the Navy. Don't talk about it much, but I was. And it's a thing. Like, I knew someone who would actually got up middle of the night, not on my ship, on my boat, but still in the carrier group. Got up in the middle of the night, walked out on the deck, and just walked off the side because he was done. Ocean madness. It's like, I'm done with the boat. I'm going home. Like, that's a thing, and
cabin fever.
That's kind of terrifying to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I actually had that at the very beginning a little bit, where like, there's nowhere to go. This boat's all you got for 1,000 miles. But I would prefer that vastly to space madness, where at least on the boat you can walk out on the deck and take a breath of fresh air. For me, that's the difference.
Yeah, like you have a chance, I feel like, on the sea, but in the vacuum of space, you're fucking done. Like,
yeah, and for me, claustrophobia trumps water fears.
Yeah, I don't like flying, but yeah.
Which though, Duane, that's surface ships. Don't you dare try to fucking put me on a submarine.
Nope, never. Not gonna do it.
Yeah, that's kind of more what I was going for. Like, if you were in a deep sea mining rig,
nope,
versus an outer space station.
I mean, you're talking about the same. Like, you can't walk outside, so
right.
The deep sea mining station, you have a better chance of survival because there's a surface.
That is true.
But if I had to pick one of those two, I'd fucking go to space. remember when Mars X was first a thing and they're like, everyone in the world can sign up? I totally did.
Oh, yeah.
When I was young and fit. But yeah, I would go to space given the chance just because. But I would say, to answer your question, the deep sea rig would scare me less because there's a chance of survival.
Yeah, it's either massive decompression or implosion.
Yeah.
Which one do you like better? Do you like your stomach crushing into itself or your stomach coming out to your eyeballs?
Yeah, this planet definitely makes us weak and squishy. We are not resistant to pressure.
No.
So what other cool stuff does Vorpal Tales do that's water scary? Besides Shawn, who's going to be playing Subnautica soon on Geared Up Gaming.
I mean, I'm going to play the ice one because I played the other one. I need to play the ice one.
Still scary.
Still fucking scary. Just not.
See, now I'm going to have to play Sunless Sea.
Record it for us.
Well, actually, I will be recording because this is my month for Extra Life.
Oh, yes.
Oh, cool.
Try and get those sweet DLCs and raise money as well.
Dig it.
You know what? You just sold it and didn't even know it. November 24-hour Extra Life stream. We will do at least one live play involving Ocean Terror.
Oh, fuck me. Okay.
Duane in the lead.
Got it.
Mark it. That'll be 3 hours of our 24. Shawn is required to attend.
Somebody write that down. Well, what are we even going to play? Like, am I just going to sit there?
From Beneath the Sea.
Okay.
There are other choices, though, yeah. So you're not. So tell us about the Ocean Terror and Tales from the Loop, since you actually placed your game on seaside on the ocean in the Gulf Coast.
I mean, that wasn't intentional to freak them out via the sea, but I took the kids to the pool, and they went in a room, came out that room. They ended up on an alien world had an alien. They were on the beach, on an alien beach. And then a squid monster show up, giant crab, Space Lord Pajamas actually showed up and made a mess of things. So
I didn't even know it was the Space Lord. I had to tell them. That made me sad.
I tried to make it as like I try to make things as obvious as possible, but not to specifically call it out, just to sort of have that nugget. And in my all of the stories I'm telling are part of a larger story that I'll eventually get somewhere. But yeah, I was sad.
I didn't watch this. How exactly did you describe Space Lord?
Like, if you have seen me draw or doodle a picture of the Space Lord, like in his power suit that I draw him in,
Mhm.
you would have known dead on that it, like I described the helmet, the color scheme that he's in, the fact that he wears a towel around his waist, which I
okay.
mean, there was dead giveaways. And I don't know if Steve was tired all night or just didn't want to say anything. Plus I was dealing with I had Harry and Jane in there who have no idea, who have probably never seen it, but
Yeah, they don't have the Space Lord. It's new to them.
mm-hmm. Yes, there is an actual character that goes with my screen name. That, yeah, good time.
Space Lord punches Cthulhu.
He does, but he realizes the futility of it and the inevitability of it. Like, yeah, I mean, there is something there. I think we talked about that last episode of just fighting against something that will eventually destroy you, such as the ocean.
The ocean always wins.
The ocean will always win, no matter how big, how awesome you build your ship. The ocean will always win.
No matter how awesome you build your continents, it will erode them.
And that is true too. That is very true.
The hell with ships and continents. Just when you stand in it, you get smacked with waves. I've nearly been drowned a couple times, not 10 feet off the shore.
Those riptides, man. Don't fuck with them.
Well, I feel like that's a good way to bring it all the way back around to where we started with Cthulhu.
Isn't that where it always begins and ends?
For me. Or maybe Azathoth and Yog-Sothoth. Any of those, yes. 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 Well, once again, that's a good scary tale ending to our discussion this episode. We'd like to thank the audience for listening to us creep it real.
Oh, God.
Next episode. I broke myself because I broke Duane. Next episode, we will be discussing Shawn's least favorite horror game. So I'm going to need Duane to show up again to side chat, to be my wingman. So that Shawn can sit there and sigh heavily the whole time as we discuss Cult Divinity Lost.
Oh, I know nothing about it.
And the phenomenon of cult and how you can connect it to other games, and we are, which may be fascinating for people. And we'll talk about the part of cult that does interest Shawn, which is the system that it's based in, which is very versatile, easy for the GM, and fast and furious.
Let's talk about when the GM doesn't have to roll dice.
Exactly, which that system works that way. Yes. So until then, audience, stay scary, but don't be jerk-o'-lanterns. Goodbye.